I just finished a really intense workout. After showering, I came and sat down at my computer. Thought to myself, finally, this is a great opportunity to rest, relax, recuperate a little bit. I opened Twitter and saw dozens of tags, notifications, telling me that Wuthering Waves had revealed their global release date. And I thought to myself, there is no way that that would happen. I was wrong. That has happened. Although not necessarily in the way that I would have anticipated it happening. This is leaked all over the internet. Multiple different websites have covered it. Multiple different Reddit threads and various different subreddits have covered it. And while we're about to discuss it in detail in just a moment, I want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification. That way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post. And I post every single day. Pre-registration information, new beta tests, new game announcements, drama, and in this case, Wuthering Waves global release date. Now, the announcement in question came in the form of the official Epic Games Store listing of Wuthering Waves. Now, I went over to the page. It says coming soon, available in 2024. It lists a bunch of information, but nothing about a release date. However, just hours before, multiple people captured this snippet on Google. Wuthering Waves coming soon, Epic Games Store, available 2024, initial release May 30th, 2024. May 30th. That's 2 months away, or 2.5 months away. That is unbelievably close. Now, let me just get this out of the way first. This could be a placeholder date. This does not mean that it is definitively launching on May 30th. However, there were rumors going around that we would be getting a global release at some point in early June. With this in mind, that does make this seem a little bit more plausible. According to GameLeap, when the game was added to the Epic Games Store on March 8th, which was just yesterday, players were quick to find out that when searching up the game on Google, you would see an initial release date in the Epic Games Store description. The initial date got the community hyped up, as it is the first official leak that we have had, hinting at a release date for Wuthering Waves. The date mentioned in the initial release date in the Epic Games Store is May 30th. The discovery of this date got the community talking, with some being excited and others not so much. So, once again, it did list the 30th of May. When I navigate on over to the webpage, it does not list the 30th of May. You want to know why that is? Because they were quick to remove it. They remedied this as soon as they realized that they had accidentally posted the date the game was going to release on. If this were a placeholder date, they wouldn't have had to have altered it. There are plenty of games that list like December 2024 as a release date, because that is a placeholder date, meaning it will launch before December 2024 or by December 2024. This game listed May 30th, and after people started discussing it, they pointed out that this was the case. They immediately removed it because they didn't want people to know. And that might be evidence supporting the May 30th release. Now, before we go any deeper into this, I want to take a moment to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon. It will allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely incredible. I cannot thank you all enough for the support. Is Wuthering Waves ready to launch? See, I know that there are people out there that have issues with the ecosystem. They think it's too grindy, and I don't disagree. There are still some glaring issues present in the game right now, but at the same time, I feel like no game is perfect when it launches. They still have, technically, if it is May 30th, they have almost 3 months here to make sufficient alterations to the game. I think if the game launches in the current state it's in, it will probably be fairly popular. It probably won't achieve the success that it could achieve if they make a few more touch-ups between now and May 30. The date of May 30th wasn't welcomed that warmly by the community of Wuthering Waves. The reason for this is that in the second closed beta test, it was discovered that the game still has some major points that it needs to look at before it can be released. With the 30th being only 2.5 months away, fans of the game are not sure if Kudo Games will be able to polish up the current points that drag the game down. Although the combat of Wuthering Waves is phenomenal and its world and characters are shaping up nicely, the ecosystem is downright... once again, everyone is talking about the ecosystem, and that's the RNG and the substats of the echo. So, I know this is a topic of contention amongst the community, with no clear goal of what it aims to be, and the story presentation still needs some work done. I agree, but they also noted that this wasn't the final version of the story and that they were still making touch-ups, they were still dubbing over everything. So that makes sense. I mean, yeah, the ecosystem, but the story was already confirmed to be still a work in progress. Kudo still has time to polish up the game and get it ready for its release sometime later this year, and if the date of May 30th turns out to be the official release date, then we hope that Kudo Games can do their magic and give the players a great game to come, or to play rather, on release. Can the release date be trusted? As I already mentioned, this is not an official release date for Wuthering Waves, and we're still waiting for an official statement from Kudo Games as for the release date of the game. The date May 30th is the date that appeared when Wuthering Waves was registered on the Epic Games Store. There's a high chance of being a simple placeholder. This was what I was also saying. It could very well be a placeholder. But if this was a placeholder, they would not have removed it. So, I just want to point that out. However, this is also the first time fans have gotten a sneak peek at a hint for the official release date of the game. So the whole community is fired up. But they also have, I think, up until October 2024 to publish this, as they acquired the license for distribution within China last October, I think, which means they have that 1 year period to publish the game. What is certain is that the game will be released sometime in 2024 and likely before October, as Kudo's license for the game runs out, which is exactly what I said. I didn't even read that, but like, that is, I feel like, common knowledge at this point. Let's see what Reddit has to say though. Checks out with a 2-month release leak. Also early June seems like what we would expect anyways. They removed the date now. Yeah, I know. I checked that. That was the first thing I checked. That might be when the coming soon page comes up rather than the actual release. Although it says the coming soon page is already available, which you know what? That's actually true. It says coming soon over on the right here. So no, that's definitely not the case. This is legitimate. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It looks like Epic Games accidentally leaked it, I believe. Well, this is not the first time that something like this has happened. There have been plenty of instances where stores like Epic Games, like Steam, have accidentally published the release date of the game and then pulled it after realizing they made a mistake and then altering it. So this might just be another instance of this happening, which is perfectly fine. And good news for us, well, good news on one hand, bad news on the other. Part of me is cheering because it's sooner than I expected and I really want to play it. The other part is worried that there isn't enough time to fix all the problems. There really isn't much in terms of problems that are present. There are a couple. The story needs touched up, which they're working on. The combat is already incredibly good for a gacha game. I know some people feel like it doesn't have impact, but that is entirely subjective. I think that yes, the ecosystem definitely needs to be defined. They need to choose and decide ultimately what they want to do with it. They really, I feel like, don't have much more from what I experienced that they need to do for the early version of the game. Now, they can fill it with content, they can fill it with new characters once the game releases, but right now, for a version 1.0 of the game, if they make sufficient alterations and upgrades to those 3 specific areas, I think I said 3, right? 2, 3 areas, then the game will be fine. This is not Genshin Impact. This is not going to kill Genshin Impact, but this will definitely make a mark in the genre. This will define itself, and this will establish itself as a large, popular, very fun game. Again, if they make sufficient alterations to it before May 30th, if May 30th is the release date. Now, I genuinely hope it is, and I genuinely hope that they take the time to fix the couple issues that we all have with the game. If not, I guess we'll wait and see where the game ultimately falls. But if Wuthering Waves is not a game you're all interested in, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. That might be more up your alley.